let's talk about how to ask for a letter of recommendation and when to ask for one. So, how to ask. Whether you ask in person or an email, I have not found that it makes a lot of difference. If you are in a physical class with a professor who you admire and you think can write a good letter of rec for you based on your experience in that class, I would say there's no harm in going down after class and shaking their hand and having a conversation with them, either asking them in that moment if they would be willing to support your application with a letter of rec, or asking if you could stop by their office and talk to them, or even hanging out after office hours and asking them, in person or over Zoom. If that's not feasible because the class has been over or it's just not something you're comfortable doing, then writing a really nice email is perfectly acceptable. I used to do presentations for faculty members on how to write letters of rec, and I was able to get a lot of information from them about what they preferred. And a lot of them said that they actually preferred the email because it kind of puts them on the spot if you ask them in person, and they're more than likely not going to give you a straightforward answer unless they know you really well. And so they're always going to say, well, email me that request anyway. So if you just email the request to begin with, it kind of takes the pressure off of them to have to respond in that kind of awkward way. When you send an email to a professor, though, you want to make sure it's written really well. Always use Dr. So-and-so. And you want to attach a packet with that has some information about you so that it shows the letter writer that you're responsible and that you have put forth the effort to make this process easier for them. So within that packet, that PDF packet that you're going to create, you're going to have transcripts, a resume, a personal statement, a draft of it. It doesn't need to be perfect. Maybe a summary of your interactions with that person, or sort of like a short description of why it is you're asking that person to write your letter and what you think they could say about you. And include in there some directions in terms of making sure the letter is signed and they're using letterhead and that it needs to be uploaded into Interfolio or whatever service you're using.